Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Estamos aquí en la clase del Centro Cultural Eduardo Úrculo del 31 de marzo, ¿vale? Y vamos a tratar hoy un tema súper divertido porque vamos a hacer una lectura. Let's take that, for example. Let's meet the Dawson family. Mark and Daniela Dawson are a young couple who live in Miami. Miami is a big city located in South Florida. Mark works as a manager at a large bank in downtown Miami. Daniela works as a web designer. She received contracts from various companies to build and maintain their websites. What's the main thing here? If you take a look, okay, Mark and Daniela Dawson are third person, and for example here that says Mark works, okay, to put the S when you're saying something that is affirmative of somebody and is the third person, you are talking about Mark, you have to remember to put the S. This is so easy, this is from first level, but sometimes you forget to do it. That's why I put the explanation on it, okay? Manager at a large bank in downtown. Daniela, the same example, works as a web designer. She received, with the ads, contracts from various companies to build and maintain their website. Build and maintain their websites. For example, Mark was born and grew up in the United States. His parents and grandparents moved to United States from Europe in 1940s during and after the Second World War. If you take a look in this situation, it says that Mark was born is talked about in past, okay? Because you are relating something, you are telling something that happens in the past. For example, here was born, grew up in the United States. His parents moved, de mudar, to United States from Europe in 1940s during and after the Second World War, okay? His family settled in New York where he grew up and grew up and complete his education, okay? Shortly after graduating from college with a degree in business administration, he moved again to Miami where he got a job at a pharmaceutical company. Look that they talk in the past, okay, for everything. If you take a look, you have to do for example, if you want to tell a story, you cannot tell that story in the present. You have to use the perfect, that you have to use the correct tense to talk about a story that you want to tell, a storyteller, okay? In 1995, Mark met Daniela at work. She was assigned to improve the company website. One day, when Mark was paying in continuous for his lunch at the company cafeteria, he noticed Daniela sitting alone at a table. He walked again over, introduced again himself, and asked if he could sit with her, okay? They began to have lunch together every day. As they got to know more about each other, they fell in love. Okay, that's so easy. It's telling this the story is telling how they met, because they were working in the same company, and one day they were sitting in the cafeteria together. Okay, and those things that happens it spontaneously, that you want to meet somebody or you like somebody, it's really easy, because you never know if you will know that person or talk with that person. If you like somebody, when you for example, if you were in the situation that you were in the cafeteria and you like somebody, Daniela and Mark were like sitting together, trying to hang out, have a meeting, to know each other. Okay, and then I will continue with this. Daniela was born in Manizales, Colombia. She grew up, again, talking with the past, grew up there, but after she graduated from university with a degree in computer science, her family moved to United States in 1998. After having dated, after having dated Mark for 3 years, Mark and Daniela were married. They rented a small apartment in Pompano Beach and began to save money to buy a house. That's so normal, because everybody, if you meet somebody, you try to share with that person. Somebody says that if you don't know the person that you will marry or something, that is a really, really good step, hard step. When you meet somebody, for example, you like somebody, you like that person, and that person, you don't know, because you were dating with that person. It's not the same being dating with somebody, like you, for example, date with him 1 hour, 2 hours. Maybe you go to the park, maybe you go to the restaurant, to the cinema or something. But date with somebody is not the same as live with somebody. And that's the step that some marriage couples take it, and it's so hard to get through, or to I don't know, to to have that situation, because you were dating first, you were dating, and it's not the same that live together, to share all the moments, to have an apartment in common, to share an apartment, to share the same space, to share the same home. That's why in the story says that they were in after having dated Mark for 3 years. Mark and Daniela were married. They rented a small apartment in Pompano Beach. It's the next step when you have a relationship. It's really great. For example, Daniela loves with S, because it's third person, live in the United States. She learned it with ED, because she's talking about the past, as much English as she could by taking English classes, watching TV, and practicing with her American friends. Although she speaks English well, there are some words and expressions that she still doesn't understand. Mark is always happy to help her improve. Sometimes you feel or you realize that you know English because of knowing all the grammatical things and those stuff that we learn here. It's not that a lot of true, it's not that true, because you have to follow, for example, maybe watch TV series, maybe watch Netflix or something, to learn the argot or the phrasal verbs that they used to use all the days by day. Because sometimes you feel, no, I know all the words, and I know all the grammatical things, but the way of speaking of the people is different. That's the point. when you're living in a society, for example, American society or English society, you used to understand how the people, I don't know, talk or something, to start knowing the people or understanding the way of they use, for example, argot or phrasal verbs or common verbs, common sentences, and you start to get in your also your perception, because it's the most important thing when you are, for example, with the idea that you have to only talk in English. That's why you start to learn how to communicate yourself, how to express yourself. I give you the idea of trying one day, if you want, to only talk in English, only talk with you in English, because we used to walk alone and maybe have thoughts or have time to think or something. And when we are thinking, like, how if I start speaking with me in English would be great, would be a good idea, maybe. Okay, that's a good idea to practice. You start like speaking in English with you, making little sentences like you were crazy, like you were mad, for example, speaking with you alone. And trying to do it in English, trying to feel that you cannot communicate in your language, in your mother language, that you have to change your mother language. That could be a good exercise to improve your English. Okay, let's continue with that. Marx doesn't speak a word of Spanish. Now that he has married Daniela, it is something he would love to learn. He knows it won't be easy, as he is very busy with work and has very little time to relax and enjoy himself. However, since most members of Daniela's family don't speak English, he is determined to learn enough Spanish to get by. Oh, that's great. When you love somebody and their family, for example, is from another country like American country or English country, you have the idea, or you try to learn the new language to communicate with these people. That's a motivational way also to learn the English or the language or something. If you have to communicate with people, if you have to share with people, if you have the deal to do it, to deal with that situation, that moment it's when you start to move yourself and to create with your brain, like the idea of speaking another language that is not your mother language. That's why Mark is trying to speak with the family. It's trying to get involved, trying to get in the situation that he wants to speak with the Spanish people from. Do you mind that situation, that Colombian girl with that man sharing, and the Colombian family maybe doesn't speak anything of English? That's why he wants to share with those person, and that's why he wants to learn English. Okay? Oh, that's great. Everybody have the motivational idea to learn a new language. So, I want you to continue watching my videos on the YouTube channel and to continue practicing English in your houses. Thank you for coming to the class. Thank you for paying attention, and thank you for everything. Enjoy the class, and I recommend you to follow the next video. So, goodbye.